We're gonna go ahead and just start in just a minute. And we're actually gonna remove our video and we're gonna focus on the presentation. So like I mentioned, if you have any questions while we're going through the presentation, write them down and then we'll answer them, okay? So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Let me share my computer screen. So let me just make sure everyone's muted so there's no background noise. It looks like everybody's really knows how to use Zoom. That's great. Hi, Christina. I'm struggling with RA and Hashimoto's thyroiditis. I would love to help you. And let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna remove my video so that way we can focus on the presentation. So like I mentioned, Oksana, my name is Oksana and I'm here with my sister Viktoriya. And we're gonna get started in just a minute. Let me know, like I mentioned, you can hear me, type yes in the chat box and where you're currently at in your health and let us know where you would like to get to your health. So where you're currently at, where would you like to be? And also make sure that you close all of your browsers except this one and put your phone on silent. We put a lot of time into this presentation. We thought a lot about the topic we want to talk about and figure out what would help, what would be beneficial for most people. Hi Sherry, hi Aaron. Aaron is from Oksana. Cool, that's great. I've been experiencing skin rashes and other things. You have yet to be seen by your doctor. Okay. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with, so this class is gonna be all the things your doctor doesn't tell you about autoimmunity and how you can reverse it. So who is this class for? So anyone who is struggling with autoimmunity and putting all the pieces together. Who this class is not for? So anyone who's now willing to learn something new, if you feel like you already know everything, I already eat healthy, I mean, this class is not gonna be for you because you already feel like you know everything, right? And then anyone who doesn't want a help as well. If you don't need help with autoimmune issues, or most likely this is not going to be helpful to you, right? If you feel really great, you're healthy, most likely this is not going to be good for you. And also this class is not for information gather. So if you're really not an action taker, in other words, you are not ready to take different action for your health, then this is not for you. But at this point, you might be wondering, those of you who just met us, maybe you don't know us, but you might be wondering, why should I listen to you and how do I know that you are giving me the right education? So first of all, my sister and I, we are peer-reviewed published immunology scientists and nutritionists specializing in autoimmune diseases. And also we have 10 years of experience working in the field of immunology and 10 years of nutritional studies and clinical experience in disease reversal and natural healing protocols. And so here's a picture of myself, Dr. Gruber and I. So Dr. Gruber, he's my mentor. He's also a chief of staff at the VA Medical Center. And here he's presenting me with an award for my work in immunology. And he is myself with Dr. Gruber and Dr. Weber, who's the chief of surgery at Wayne State University School of Medicine. So they have been really supportive of our work in immunology and helping people recover naturally, not just through medication. And so we have, in addition, we have personally presented our research findings and immunology research at all of these national and international conferences. So my experience and education in the field helped my sister and I understand cellular biology and what specific nutrients our cells need to reverse chronic diseases. And the first thing that we have to figure out is why you're sick and then start addressing that why. Masking over symptoms with medications will not deliver health to anybody. So once you address the real reason why you're sick, it's the only way you can get your health back. And that's what we're going to talk more about in this class. So a client of ours said that this is true. I went to see more than 10 doctors and none of them were able to help like you ladies are helping me now. Another client said that I just finished 75 minutes yoga class and I killed it. Absolutely no inflammation in my joints and I could move effortlessly again. This hasn't happened in almost 2 years since my ANA was positive. I'm only on day 8 of my plan. Thank you, Viktoriya and Oksana. I'm going to talk about how they all did it. Another client of ours said, I was in and out of the ear hospital for about 1.5 to 2 years. And my doctor appointments were scheduled around her vacations. And she said that we lived like this, and I struggled to live until I met Viktoriya and Oksana. Their program changed my life. And schedule a call with them and talk to them. I let months go by thinking that they couldn't help me and that they were just another program that would leave me hanging. I was wrong. So she actually wrote that personally on her Facebook profile and tagged us. And another client said that if anyone is dealing with chronic illness, you need to check these girls out. I reversed my ulcerative colitis in less than a month. Yes, and another one said, I got more help from you in 6 weeks than I got from my doctors in 10 years. So how did they all do it? That could be on the next question. How did they all do it? So when we first met Nicole, she suffered with chronic pain and various autoimmune symptoms. So she had all of these symptoms, including lupus. And in just 8 weeks, all of this was gone. And on the whole Facebook wall, she wrote that this was the best birthday gift she's ever received. That she's a living proof that it can happen through nutrition, knowledge, and no supplementation, drugs, or medicine of any kind. So it all comes down to your cells. There has never been a sick person full of healthy cells, and there has never been a healthy person full of sick cells. And that's what we're going to talk about right now in the class. So your body, if you look at it under a microscope, it is nothing more than the collection of cells. So yellow cells represent fat cells. Purple cells represent muscle cells. Gray cells represent brain cells. So your body is nothing more than the community of cells. So you have heart cells, nail cells, skin cells, hair cells, all of these. This is what your body is. That's all you physically are. So we have close to 100 trillion of them, and that's where you are. You're nothing more than a collection of cells, at least in the physical part. So if you have something wrong with you right now, whatever symptom it might be, whether it's brain fog, hair loss, joint pain, it comes back to something gone wrong at the cell level of your body. So all health begins at the cell level. So if your cells are bad, can the foundation be good? So secret number 1 to your recovery, step number 1 is you have to fix your cells. There has never been a healthy person, like I mentioned earlier, full of sick cells, and there has never been a sick person full of healthy cells. And that's step number 1 to your recovery. Step number 2, the secret number 2 is you can actually fix your cells without supplements, therapies, or medications. So when you address the real reason why you're still sick, you can get your health back in as soon as 2 weeks. That's a client with Hashimoto's and fibromyalgia, and I know a lot of people struggle with thyroid issues. So let's talk. I don't want to play the video. So let's talk about Hashimoto's. So a lot of you struggle with Hashimoto's. So what does Hashimoto's mean? It means low thyroid. So if this is the reason why you're sick, if you have a thyroid, why does taking more thyroid medication is not fixing the problem? The doctor gives you medication. Why is this not fixing the problem? Why do 99% of patients are still not feeling healthy when they take the thyroid medication? And this is because your cells are inflamed and sick, and they're not able to do the job that they're supposed to do, including utilize that hormone in the right way. So the problem number 1 is in Western medicine, we suppress symptoms with medicine, but no one addresses where that symptoms came from in the first place. That's an issue. Why, like we talked about in the video class, we're going to talk about why the standard medicine, the Western medicine has been working for people is because you're suppressing the symptom with medication, but you're not addressing the real reason why you're sick. And another problem with that is that doctors, what they do is they cut body parts in half. What does this mean? It means they tell you, they look at your labs and they will tell you, you have a liver problem. Here's liver detox. You have hair problem. Here's hair supplement. You have gut problem. Here's gut supplement. And they will not fix the source of the problem. And it just treats the symptom. So for you to be able to recover, what we have to do is we have to find the real reason why you're sick, right? And fix it there, instead of trying to address the symptoms. And that's why people are not able to recover, because they're often just treating their symptoms. Make sense? And that's why numbers on the test can be normal, but you don't feel good. So how many of you are being told that your labs are normal, you don't have any illness, but you still don't feel good? The same comes with Hashimoto's. When they try to treat your Hashimoto's, they give you thyroid medication, but if your cells are not working properly, you're not going to be able to utilize that hormone properly. Make sense? So I just want you to process that information, and you can write down any question that you have at the end. So let's talk about the food pyramid. What happens when you eat any food? It goes into your body. It breaks it down into the smallest molecular components that it can possibly can. Here's a carbohydrate molecule. Here's a lipid molecule. Here's a protein molecule. And it breaks it down. So when it comes to disease reversal, it's not just about eliminating things from your diet. It's about adding what your cells are missing for cellular repair. So that's why a lot of people, I'm going to do low-fat diet, I'm going to do no-carb diet, I'm going to do keto diet, or paleo diet, I'm going to do juice fast or water fast. So what happens, oftentimes, if you don't identify what is causing your inflammation to stay, what your cells need to repair, and even if you do something like a juice fast, as soon as people start eating again, the symptoms come back. Because it's not just about eliminating everything from your diet, but isolating what is your body needs for cellular repair and giving your body the right missing tools for its healing, for your recovery, for your autoimmune recovery. And that's why a lot of people say, I'm eating healthy, why am I not getting better? That's why secret number one is you want to fix yourself. Secret number two, if you can't fix yourself without supplement, you can fix yourself without supplementary medications. And secret number three, it comes back to my third point, is isolating things that are missing or causing you not to get better. That's what it takes to get to full disease reversal. So that's why when you have the right process in place, when you know exactly what is still causing your symptoms to stay and how to fix it, there is no reason why you should continue to be suffering. A lot of people that we work with, they see results within days, just like with Nicole and many of our other clients. So here is another thing I want to talk about. If you're not getting better in a matter of 2 to 6 weeks, once you've changed your diet or when you're following some kind of recovery process, there are two things are happening. So if you're not feeling better in a matter of weeks, there are a couple of things are happening. Number one is you're doing something dangerously wrong and just don't know it. And number two, why you're not getting better, there's something else generating inflammation besides your diet, even if you feel like your diet. But we actually have never worked with anybody who had perfect diet and especially the exact plan that we put them on. So there's either something that's creating inflammation in your body or something that you're doing wrong that's raising inflammation levels in your body. Another thing is that it's never too late to do everything you can to recover, no matter what damage has been done to your body, whether it has been done by drugs, alcohol, done by autoimmune disease. It's always best time to do everything you can. So a lot of people tell us, you know, I'm 80 years old or I'm 70 years old. Can I still get my health back? And absolutely yes. The question is, can you feel better? Absolutely yes. And here's another proof. People can get better regardless where they are located, whether you live from Italy or whether you live in actually Spain. This is a client from Spain that we work with personally. I'm not gonna play the video. So I'm gonna focus on education. So the better all your cells are working, the faster you're able to reverse your disease. And the faster your body is able to fight off any sickness or any illness that's in your body. So all they need to be able to do their job at 100% is simply to find out the real reason you're sick and how to fix it, what's still slowing down your recovery. Another thing I wanted to address, that if you're becoming deficient while healing your disease, you're also doing it wrong. Make sense? So how well your body functions is determined by how well each of those cells are working. That's it. Everything that you are and can do physically is a result of the health or unhealthiness of those cells. So that's why just eliminating things from your diet without knowing what to add can be dangerous. And that's why a lot of people, they say, I remove processed foods, I remove dairy, and now I'm deficient. It means that there's something along the way, either you were missing or something was done wrong. So how do you recover? Again, bringing it back to fixing your cells, identify what you need to give your body to heal itself and optimize your immune system if you are dealing with autoimmune and inflammatory issues. Step number 2, isolate anything that's still causing you not to get better. Step number 3, make adjustments based on data and course correct. That's what it takes to reverse your disease. So for example, we followed this process and we took Nicole's current diet and we showed her how to make step-by-step improvements to optimize her recovery so her immune cells start functioning at the optimal level and your body start reversing your disease for you when you give it the right tools to do it. So we helped her identify which essential things her cells needed and were missing and how to convert her current diet into the one that's made specifically for her autoimmune recovery. Then we guided her every single day and made adjustments based on her body's response. And by day 10, she woke up in better shape, no anxiety, feels rested. By day 23, no pain at all in her stomach. By day 30, joint pain is pretty much non-existent. And then another thing that we are taught that more serious diseases don't ever go away. All we can do is use medications or surgeries to treat the symptoms. It turns out that it's only true when we stick to medications for treatment rather than the lifestyle changes to treat the actual cause of the disease and give your cells what they need to repair itself. So no matter what the cause of your autoimmune disease is, when you give your body all that it needs, it can repair the damage and get back to optimal health. And that's the most important thing to realize, that people say, I need to find the cause. What is causing me? What is causing me? Is this a virus? Is it something else? There's many triggers for autoimmunity. Makes sense? What you need to know is what is missing for your cells to optimize repair for you. Makes sense? So how to successfully recover is, number 1, you have to be willing and able to find what the cells of your body need for healing. Step number 2, you have to be willing and able to find what your cells hate, right? So you do less of that. And step number 3, you have to be willing and able to do more of what your cells need for healing and less of what causes damage to your healing. And that's what it takes for you to successfully recover. So does this make sense? Let me pause for a little. I know I'm going really fast, and a lot of you it might take time to process the information. So I'm just gonna pause for a little bit so that way you can process it. I know I'm very fast at teaching this. And so that's why another point it comes back to is that you can read all about healing from autoimmunity, but unless you have the experience and knowledge how to isolate the things that are keeping you sick, how can you do it right? So who wants to do it right and right for sure? And that's why my question for you is, do you want to get results in the minimal amount of time So you know exactly what to do and not to do. And do you want to have step-by-step instructions on what to do and not to do, and need specific instructions and direct answers in terms of expected timelines for improvements? So secret number one is you're not going to get healthy if you do not ask for help. So many people are so busy taking care of others, especially mothers. They're taking care of their kids that it's hard to prioritize yourself. And you're not going to get healthy if you do not prioritize yourself first. And when things go wrong, look at the signals that your body just gave you. So that's why, otherwise, it's just not going to happen. So number one, if you're not going to get healthy if you do not ask for help. Number two is if you're struggling, listen to your body if you're still hurting. This is how your body is crying for help, that what you're doing is not working. So do what you need to do to get better. If you need more help, get help. So listen to your body. If you're still in pain, listen to your body is crying for help. And this is all what we do, is we help people reverse diseases every single day, no day off, even during holidays. So that's secret number one, is how to get better. Listen to your body. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And secret number three, it's impossible to stick to something if you're not seeing results. And that's the biggest reason why we see people fail, is because they're doing something that they're not seeing results, and that's why they're not able to stick to it. And with our client, Brian, how fast he saw results? Within days. Once you identify and isolate the things that are keeping you sick, and you give your body, your cells, what they need to repair itself, the results happen fast, okay? And that's why there's a myth that tell you if you have disease, autoimmune disease, you're gonna be sick for the rest of your life. It doesn't have to be that way. So that's why, would you rather try to figure out 1,000 ways it doesn't work, or go directly to the source? Thomas Edison. So if you wanted to learn how to create electricity, would you try to figure out 1,000 ways it doesn't work, or would you just rather go ask Thomas Edison? And so my question for you, do you have a plan and know exactly how you're going to reverse your autoimmune disease in the next 90 days? And do you know exactly what your body needs and your immune cells need to reverse a disease for you? And do you know how to adjust when you hit a roadblock or plateau? That's another thing that keeps people sick, is that they hit a roadblock or they plateau and they don't really know how to adjust that. So how do you learn how to fly an airplane? You need to have somebody sitting beside you who knows how to fly an airplane. The same thing when it comes to autoimmune disease recovery. If you want to reverse your disease, you need to have somebody sitting beside you who knows how to reverse autoimmune disease for you. So the information and steps that are going to get you from where you are to where you want to be is going to be something different. Otherwise, you will already be where you want to be. And that's something that people have to be aware of, is that in order to get different results, you have to do something different. Otherwise, you will already be where you want to be. And so we talked about the cells, we talked about what the secrets to your recovery is: identifying what is it your cells need to do it, being able to course correct, right? And isolating the things that are causing you to get sick. And that's what it ultimately takes you to reverse your autoimmune disease. And so how can we help? And or how can you, if you're asking somebody to help you, these are the questions you want to ask. Whatever it is you're looking for, let's say you want to work with a doctor or a naturopath, these are the questions you want to ask them, or you want to ask. Do they have the results that you're after? Do their clients and patients reversing disease in as soon as 4 to 6 weeks? And has this worked long term? And do they provide daily support and guidance? And that's why when you're trying to look for help, whether it's our help or someone else's help, these are the questions you want to ask them before you waste your time, energy trying to learn from people who don't have the results that you want, or who's not there with you every single day to help you when the problems happen, which they do when it comes to diseases. And who's there with you, who's going to help you to course correct and tell you what's normal to feel and what's not normal to feel. So it's really important to have that support. That's why you see that client's testimonials, why they heal so fast, because every single day we're there with them. So it's very different compared to going. Yes, and if you feel like you need a help with your recovery, so that way we can put those steps together for you. Learn more in the link below, how you can recover in the comfort of your home without having to actually drive to your doctor. So with that being said, I'm gonna go back to the main slides about the steps, how to successfully recover your disease, and let me know if you have any questions about any of that. So let me turn my video back on and stop my screen share. So let me know if you have any questions about anything that we talked about. So I know we went really fast and you could have not processed all the information, but let us know what is your biggest takeaway in terms of how to recover. What is it your cells need to do it, right? What is that? So Aaron asked, how do I identify how do you identify what your cells need for repair? So again, it comes back to having the experience and knowledge in cellular biology. And that's the first step, is how do you identify what your body needs? It all comes back to having that knowledge and experience. So you can go back and learn about different things, different nutrients that our cells need, and you can try, test, do it through trial and error. Or you can find somebody else who already knows how to be able to find that for you. Makes sense? So it just really takes about not just understanding, but also takes experience, because we can all read a book about something, but if they never had the experience, it's applying that knowledge on your own body and see how your body responds. So, you can try, read a book or watch your videos on YouTube, but then they just put in pieces together and then try it on yourself and see how your body responds when you eat certain foods and see if you actually get better or not. So it's and also we do have units in the Facebook group where you can go through more education. And that would be the next step for you, is go through the education in the units and get more educated regarding when it comes to reversing autoimmune diseases without the supplements or therapy. So a lot of people, they like we mentioned, they cut body parts in half. So what does this mean? Is they tell you have a liver problem, here's liver detox. You have hair problem, here's supplement, right? So it's treating the symptom. So to be able to recover from autoimmunity, it's not about treating the symptom, it's about addressing the real reason why you're still sick. And then looking at your body as a whole, not just as because people fixed one thing and then something else gets worse. Because they only looking at the body at body parts, not as a whole body. Yeah, so Felicia asked, how do you identify what the cells is lock off? Is there a test that you're going to run? We don't run any tests, but what we do is we look at individuals' lab work and we personalize the recovery based on their disease and our experience working with people who have that specific autoimmune disease. And that's how we personalize the recovery plan for each person based on what you're dealing with and our knowledge and experience what the cells need for recovery. But we also look at your labs to see if there's anything that actually shows up in your lab work. Makes sense? So that's why, that's how we do it. And we don't run any lab tests except complete blood work. So what we recommend is to run inflammation markers, immunology test, and complete blood work. That would at least help you isolate whether you do have inflammation in any specific parts of the body. But the way that our process has been so successful is we don't focus on just separating your body parts, right? Oh, you have hair problem, here's a supplement for that. We actually we try to figure out we look at your current diet, what is it you're doing, and how we can optimize it based on experience and knowledge. And that's the step number one. We take your diet, we optimize it, what you're currently doing, how we can make it better. And after that, what we do is we monitor your progress every single day, and we isolate the things that get in your way of recovery. Whether it is food, so if you do have allergy, or if you do have food sensitivities, there's a process that we follow, and we help you identify that, right? And we help you identify whether it is food that's causing you to stay sick or whether it's something else. So that's why we monitor your progress every single day over the course of 40 days. making adjustments when needed. And that's how we basically personalize your recovery plan based on what we look in your labs, based on the experience, and as well as we guiding you through that recovery. And that's what ultimately tests take. So what tests and blood work do we need to get done? So complete blood work and inflammation markers. That would be the main test. But again, you not necessarily have to have a diagnosis, a complete diagnosis, but based on the symptoms that you're dealing with, to learn what is it you need to do to recover. So usually people just need complete blood work. And so Arvin asked, how do I get your help? You can go to our website and learn more information, how to get help. So the first step is you schedule the call, we talk about your health challenge and see what we can do to help you. Figure out whether it makes sense for us to work together. So there is more info on our website, it's everywhere. So Sherry asked, if you have absorption issues, how do damaged cells uptake nutrients they need? So even if you have absorption issues, when you give your cells the nutrients that it needs, it's gonna fix that issue. So we had clients who had leaky gut, or they had, basically they couldn't digest the food. But what we do in that case, what we focus on is we're focusing on healing your gut. We're focusing on healing your gut, so it's better able to uptake those nutrition. So the health of your gut, it really depends what you put into it. And then we start based on what your gut can handle. So we make a recovery plan based on the current state of your gut. So for example, if somebody has colitis or Crohn's disease, and if they have bloody stool, we start with the plan, and then based on how the body responds, we make adjustments. We might tell them, eat more of that, less of that. So they actually, diarrhea and blood stops. And then when that happens, as the weeks go by, we'll tell them the next step. So we make adjustments. That's why in a program, we make adjustments in the diet based on the results, the feedback we get. Yeah, so that's why initially we would do a first evaluation call with our clients and figure out why is that you have absorption issues. Where is that come from in the first place? And then based on our conversation, then we will personalize your recovery plan, right? And so how do you know you have absorption issues? Is it the fact of how you feel, or is it shows up in your labs? Are you deficient in certain nutrients despite eating that nutrition? So that's why we'll figure out how can you maximize the nourishment of your cells despite having the absorption issues. So even if you do have absorption issues, we maximize what are the nourishment of your cells so you can fix that, so you get all the nutrients, and then focusing on isolating why you have that issue in the first place and how we can fix that. So we will have to speak with you to get more information, how we can actually help you with that. Make sense? And Felicia asked, is there a connection between mast cell and allergy reaction, and can they be turned off? So mast cell and allergy reaction, it all comes back to having a dysfunctional immune system. So people, when they have a dysfunctional immune system, they can be allergic to even healthy foods. So what we need to focus on is we need to focus on addressing your immune system. So what we need to do is optimize your immune system to stop from attacking itself. And then the allergies go away. So clients that we have worked with who are allergic to even healthy foods, we really had to narrow down their recovery plan. So sometimes they would be eating 3-5 ingredients, but the specific ingredients that the immune system needs to recover. And then the allergies went away. And then when the allergies go away, they're able to add more foods back. So in the first, we avoid those foods. If, for example, if people are allergic to avocados, they don't eat the avocados. But then, allergies go away, they eat avocados back, nothing happens. And we help you isolate whether or not you are allergic to that food. Because within the 2-week mark, that's when our clients get better. So within the 2-week mark, nothing has changed in your health, especially once you go through it. We tell you what's normal to feel, what's not normal to feel. And that's when we help you isolate what are the things that are still keeping you sick and how we can make those adjustments. Makes sense? Erin asked, are we required to see a doctor before we work with you? I feel like they really don't know much and will suggest another prescription doc or cream. So what we're focusing on is guiding our clients through the nutritional recovery plan. But when it comes to medications and the medical treatment, that's all between you and your doctor. So you can make a decision whether or not you need the medication. So some people that we work with who have stage 5 kidney failure, they have to be on medication, otherwise their kidney is gonna fail. So what we do is we work on optimizing the immune system so it stops attacking the kidneys where they no longer need the medication. But for all the medical treatment, is you can speak with your doctor and make the decision. We're not qualified to give medical advice, but you only decide whether or not you want to see the doctor. So that's why we talked about medication can save your life, but it's not going to give you health, right? And especially when it comes to steroids, if people who are taking steroids, it's a completely different question. They have to be working with their doctor when it comes to using the medication. But Erin, I will talk to you and decide, but you're not required to see your doctor before working with us, because we're going to be focusing on getting you recovered through the natural way. But whether or not you need the medication, that's comes back to what your doctor feels like is best for you. But even if you're on medication or non-medications, you can still heal, even if you take or don't take medications, because you want to reverse your disease, so you don't need the medications anymore. That's a goal. That's the whole goal of our coaching in a program, so people are actually able to heal the body, so they can get out their medication. Yeah. So Erin just not sure. She's not sure what's going on with her, and that's why if you're dealing with inflammation and skin issues, there's still something inflammatory is going on, and you would benefit from working with us regardless or not you have diagnosis. But you have the symptoms of inflammation, you have the skin issues like you mentioned, and among other issues. And that's what we would focusing on is your symptoms and addressing those and identifying how to reverse this inflammation rapidly. Yeah, so send me other emails. It looks like you have a lot of questions here. What do I need? We'll talk about that more personally, okay? So send us an email. But that was a great question. So that's why, like we mentioned, when it comes to medications, what we help our clients with is get their body healthy where they no longer need medications, even when they are on medication. So we work with a lot of people who are on medication. You work with your doctor to start tapering you off medication when you no longer need it. But our focus is getting your body healthy, so that way you no longer need the medication. Makes sense? And also teach you what you need to do so you never get sick again. So that's why in a program there's a difference between remission and full disease reversal. People can still feel not good when they're in remission. So they can still have inflammation markers in the labs. They can still be positive antibodies, but they might not have symptoms because medicine suppresses the symptoms. But our goal in the program, so you actually reverse your labs and you feel good. So regardless whether you take medication or not, you can still feel good and recover and achieve that recovery because your body makes new cells out of the food you eat. So every single day, your body makes new cells. And that's amazing to know that even you see the clients like Rudy, who's 7 years old, he's able to get off his diabetes medication. Diabetes and arthritis medication. So that's why it's about isolating what are the things. If you're not seeing, or if you hit a plateau, or maybe you feel better after you change your diet or something you've done, but you hit a plateau. You hit a plateau and roadblock. That's when it comes back to identifying, isolating what are the things that are still keeping you in the same spot. And that's what we help our clients with, because a lot of people who do come to us, they eat really healthy, but they're still not getting the results that they want. And we help them isolate those things to make sure that they're doing everything right, and as well as providing all the education that they need to ensure their recovery and teaching them what they have to do to get to full disease reversal as well as maintain their health. So that's why we work with 4 or 5 clients at a time, because it's so much time and energy that goes into helping each person. Make sense? It's not just a meal plan. Yeah, so Felicia asked, she found streptococcus from the stool test. Do you have to have a protocol or fix that, or need to take antibiotics? So people who are dealing with actual bacterial infections or any type of other infections or viral infections, what we're focusing on is we're focusing on optimizing your immune system so you can fight the infection for you. But in a lot of these cases, people still have to take the medicine so you can kill off that bacteria while we work on your immune system as well to make sure that it doesn't come back, right? So a lot of times, if you do have a viral or bacterial infection, so you would have to take the medication to get rid of it. And then we work on your immune system to make sure that it doesn't come back. Makes sense? So we have another call coming up, and the system connection of them. Yeah, so Brittany said, I feel like I'm getting a roadblock that's taking, yeah, so she's taking affect disease reversal process due to the immune system connection of the medication. So when we talked about, we have another class where we talk about the steroids or any different type of medication. So there's a different video, actually, you can watch in our Facebook group when it comes to taking medication. So what the medication does, especially when it comes to steroids, is that they suppress your entire immune system. They suppress the inflammatory immune system and anti-inflammatory immune system, and they have side effects. And that's not what you want to do long-term. What you want to do is, because what happens is when you're taking steroids or any medication, it suppresses your whole immune system. Even the immune system that's helping you recover from disease. That's what the steroids do. So what you want to do is you want to suppress the immune system, the inflammatory immune system, and you want to straighten the anti-inflammatory immune system. But what the steroids and medication do is it suppress the entire immune system. Make sense? And that's what you don't want to do long term, is the side effects. And people, like a client, Rudy, he was taking steroids and then he got the infections. His infection was not healing because he's taking steroids. They suppress the entire immune system. So for your recovery, for your autoimmune recovery, what you want to do is you want to suppress the immune system that's went haywire for you. You want to suppress the inflammatory immune system, and then you want to straighten the anti-inflammatory immune system. And we do that with diet. Makes sense? So people can take the medication so that the symptoms are less. But what we work on is getting you to that healthy state where you no longer need the medication. So there are side effects with the medication that you're currently taking. So it actually suppresses your entire immune system, and that's not what you want to do. You only want to suppress the part of your immune system that's going haywire, the inflammatory immune system, and then optimize the anti-inflammatory immune system. Make sense? Yeah, so sometimes doctors just give you medication, they give you antibiotic, but then antibiotics, they cause a lot of problems. They cause leaky gut, they actually cause inflammation in your gut. So we had a lot of clients, they take a lot of antibiotics, and then what we do, we have to work on healing their gut. And the gut issues heal really rapidly in our program. A lot of people we worked with were on antibiotics for years, and it affected their gut, their digestion, and work on healing their gut and reversing that inflammation. So what the antibiotics do, they actually destroy the mucosal layer of your gut. When you destroy the mucosal layer of your gut, guess what happens? Those particles that are not supposed to pass through, it creates big gaps in your gut, and now they pass through, and it creates your immune system and triggers the autoimmune disease. So when we work with clients, we teach on the foods that they have to remove so their gut can heal. So you reduce inflammation, and then we teach you what are the foods you have to add so your immune system can repair. Makes sense? And we actually teach all of that in our program, the science, everything, so that way you understand on a cellular level what is it you're doing, why you're doing it. Is she in a group? I don't see her. So Brittany, I'm not sure if you're in a group. We do have a video about that. So that's what antibiotics do, is they actually destroy your mucosal layer, and they create the leaky gut, big gaps in your gut, and then everything that's outside of your body. So your gut that's outside of your body, it leaks into your bloodstream and activates your immune system. And that's why that's one of the main triggers for autoimmune disease, actually. So Lindsay just joined the call. We actually just finishing up. So it was great to connect with all of you. Great job for staying until the end. We actually had 30 people register for this class, but I know sometimes it's difficult to find time to do it, but it means you guys are committed, that you want to get better, you want to get the education, and we had to help you. But like I mentioned, the best way for us to be able to help you is when we work with you personally. That's the best way, because recovering from disease requires energy, education, and that's what we invest time. We invest a lot of time for free, but we invest time with people who are committed, right? If you committed to us, if you invest with us, we invest with you. Makes sense? We will give you our all to help you get your health back. But there's only a small amount of people we can work with because of energy and time it goes into. Okay. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and we'll talk to you later. We'll do live classes in a group, so make sure you join a group as well. So we'll be doing videos on there in a group. And let us know if you want us to post this recording. We'll see if my sister wants to do it. We might have to ask somebody on a team to convert the recording for us. So we can post a replay in the group with the class that we did. And otherwise, stay connected, engaged in our Facebook group, okay? Because we want people engaging. So that way it's actually, so we know we're helping you, okay? Great seeing everybody. If you don't have any other questions, we'll talk to you soon. It was great to connect with everyone like that, face to face. So feel free to, we might do this once a month for free people, right? For people who are not in the program. But when you work with us in the program, we basically talk to you like this, unlimited, right? But okay, let's end. I'll talk to you soon, and it was great seeing you all. Brittany, Don, Sherry, Christina, Nicole, Felicia. Great job, everybody. Lindsay, great to see you. Erin, and we'll talk to you soon.